Hello dear students, today we will learn a new story, The Summit Within by Major H.P.S. Ahluwalia. Okay, so let's start with it. Coming to author. Author Major H.P.S. Ahluwalia was a member of the first successful Indian expedition to Mount Everest in 1965. He climbed the Mount Everest on 29th May 1965 along with his friends Rawat and Pu Dorji. In the Indo-Pakistan War of 1965, he was injured and confined to a wheelchair. He is the recipient of several awards like Padma Bhushan, Arjun Award, the National Award for the best work done in the field of disability. He won the Tenzing Norway National Adventure Award for Lifetime Achievement on August 29, 2009. He has written several books like Higher Than Everest, Beyond the Himalayas, and Everest is Within You. Okay, so this is what the brief introduction about the author we have seen. So how was the early life of the author? Haripal Singh Ahluwalia was born on 6th November 1936 and brought up in Shimla along with his two sisters and two young brothers. His father was employed as a civil engineer in the Central Public Works Department, means PWD. Okay, coming to the introduction of the lesson, The Summit Within. Okay. Of all the emotions which surged through me as I stood on the summit of Everest, looking over miles of panorama below us, the dominant one I think was humility. The physical in me seemed to say, "Thank God, it's all over." However, instead of being jubilant, there was a tinge of sadness. Was it because I had already done the ultimate in climbing and there would be nothing higher to climb, and all roads thereafter would lead down? Here, surge means arose suddenly and intensely. Summit means the highest point of a hill or a mountain. We can say it as a peak. Panorama means view of a wide area, means viewing in all the directions. Humility means the quality of having a modest or low view of one's importance. Jubilant means very happy because of success. Okay. Tinge means race or shade. Okay. So what is the explanation of this paragraph? The author begins the story by telling the readers about the rush of multiple emotions he felt as he stood on the highest point of the Mount Everest. Okay, as you all know that Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. The huge panorama below them made them feel little and modest. Climbing up to the top had made him so tired that his physical strength was glad it was over. However, rather than feeling proud and joyous of having climbed the highest peak, he could feel some sadness within him. The only probable reason for this feeling could be that he had now become proficient by climbing the highest point, and all the roads from that point will only lead downwards. Okay, he has no way to climb upwards now as he has reached the highest peak of the world. By climbing the summit of Everest, you are overwhelmed by a deep sense of joy and thankfulness. It is a joy which lasts a lifetime. The experience changes you completely. The man who has been to the mountains is never the same again. As I look back at life after climbing Everest, I cannot help remarking about the other summit, the summit of the mind, no less formidable and no easier to climb. Even when getting down from the summit, once the physical exhaustion once the physical exhaustion had gone, I began asking myself the question why I had climbed Everest. Why did the act of reaching the summit have such a hold on my imagination? It was already a thing of the past, something done yesterday. With every passing day, I would become more remote. And then what would remain? Would my memories fade slowly away? Would my memories fade slowly away? Here, formidable means strong and powerful. Remote means distant. Okay. Here, the author writes that whenever he thinks about having climbed the summit of Everest, he cannot help but think about another significant summit, which is of the mind, which is not easier to climb either. It is not any less challenging. Once he had climbed the Everest, returned and recovered from the physical exhaustion, he began to ask himself the reason as to why he climbed the highest peak. It was quite difficult to understand why the accomplishment had such an impact on his imagination all the time, even when it was a thing of the past. He knew that as each day passed, the experience would get old. At that very moment, he was unsure if the memory would remain or fade away slowly. Okay. So, all these thoughts led me to question myself as to why people climb mountains. It is not easy to answer the question. The simplest answer would be, as others have said, because it is there. It presents great difficulties. Man takes delight in overcoming obstacles. The obstacles in climbing a mountain are physical. Climbing to summit means endurance, persistence and willpower. So, dear friends, are you clearly understanding? Whenever someone wants to climb the summit or the highest peak, then there must be three factors that affect them. Firstly, they must have endurance, persistence and willpower. Okay. The demonstration of these physical qualities is no doubt exhilarating as it was for me also. So, the author says all the thoughts that came into the author's mind made him ask himself as to why people climb mountains. It is not that easy to answer in the simplest way possible. Could be because it is there. Climbing a mountain poses great challenges, and we all know that overcoming these obstacles bring pleasure to climbers. In climbing a mountain, these obstacles are physical, such as tolerance, willpower and determination to keep you going. The exhibition of these physical qualities and one's awareness towards them, on the other hand, is thrilling, and same was the case for the authors. Okay. He then moves on by explaining and telling that I have a more personal answer to the question. From my childhood, I have been attracted by mountains. I had been miserable, lost when away from mountains in the plains. Mountains are nature at its best. Their beauty and majesty pose a great challenge, and like many, I believe that mountains are a means of communication with God. Okay? Or communion with God. Here, communion means the sharing or exchanging of intimate thoughts and feelings, especially on a mental or spiritual level. Okay. So the author says that he seems to have a more personal answer to this question as to why he wanted to climb mountains. He had been immensely attracted by mountains since his childhood. He used to feel lost and unhappy in the plains. When he was away from the mountains, he feels mountains are nature in its best form. Okay, although their magnificence and beauty pose a significant challenge, the author along with a lot of people believe that mountains provide a platform for sharing personal thoughts and feelings directly with God. Okay, so this is what they submit within story. We'll have the further explanation in the next class. So keep reading the lesson and get cleared with your doubts. Thanks for listening. We'll continue in the next class. Have a nice day. Thank you.